Caroline. She's the queen of talking. Hey, what's on your mind? She's on the inside. She got the scoop on the ones to watch, on the ones that's hot. No one can do it quite like Caroline.
Hey y'all, it's Caroline Hobby and welcome to my show Get Real from the Music City, capital of the world. In each episode, I get the real story from the most inspiring, interesting people in Nashville, Tennessee. I have done everything in the music entertainment industry. I was in the trio Stealing Angels with 2 top 50 country charting songs, a finalist and runner-up on season 22 and season 24 of The Amazing Race. You can currently catch me on CMT's hit show, I Love Kelly Pickler. I am an entertainment news correspondent and host for the TV show Nashville Insider, and my podcast, Get Real with Caroline Hobby, was featured on iTunes' New and Noteworthy and charted on iTunes' Top 200 podcast. I'm also married to the smoking hot front man, Michael Hobby, of the #1 chart-topping band, 1,000 Horses. So buckle up and get ready to get real with me, Caroline Hobby. Welcome to my show. Yeah, we're just gonna start the interview.
Okay, let's do it.
It's happening.
It's happening.
Okay, so here we are in Tree Vibez Music. And Leslie Tomasina is...
Tomasina DiPiero. I got married.
Tomasina DiPiero. Okay, so we do carry the DiPiero.
We do carry. I don't really carry him. He carries himself. And he's a big guy. I don't want to carry him anyway. But yes.
Big old hunk of burning love.
Yes, Big Bear Bob.
Which, do you think it's sort of incredible that you have been in publishing and working with songwriters all of these years, and then you married one of the biggest songwriters of all time, Bob DiPiero?
Well, I used to joke with people, if you're going to date someone in the business, you might as well marry them because you'll see them the rest of your life. So at least I held true to my advice.
Were you upset when you decided? Were you like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm marrying a songwriter when you did it? Or were you like, oh my God, this feels so right?
Well, I wouldn't let him. We didn't tell anyone that we were dating for like 4 months because I said I worked really hard not to be that girl. So I've been on Music Row for so long, but you know, Bob is a words master. Anyone in his path is going down.
And he is charming.
He took me down. Yeah, we've been together almost 13 years now.
What's the secret to marriage in the music business?
What is the secret? Laugh a lot. Don't take ourselves seriously. That's for damn sure.
You can't.
Hell no.
How'd you learn that? Have you always known that, just to not take yourself seriously? Or how did you
I
pick
do.
that up?
I think if you want people to take you seriously, don't take yourself too seriously.
Break that down.
I just said that. I like it.
I like that too. Break that down into
That's
layman's
true.
terms.
Well, I mean, seriously. Seriously.
We're getting serious.
We're getting damn serious.
And I'm not even like seriously joking. It's
right.
Just
I
straight
mean,
up.
if you can't laugh at yourself or laugh at life and enjoy things, then what are you really doing? And people that just I'm going to go into a tangent, but just don't take yourself too seriously.
I agree. I think it's that saying, like, if you hold something too tightly, you just squeeze the juice out of it in a way that it's gone. But if you just let it kind of chill and you love it and you appreciate it, then you can enjoy it.
Yeah, anything could be a plant.
Tell me how you got started in this business, because you have done some major jobs. You've been kicking butt on Music Row for a long time. Tell me what brought you to Nashville. Where are you from?
I was raised in Naples, Florida, a little beach town.
Sunny Florida.
Beach town, Florida girl. That's the only reason I'm here, because, you know, we got a Florida guy here, so I got the job being from Florida.
And this is actually perfect for you, because this is linked in with Tribe Kelly, Tree Vibez, there, and Brian. It's a Florida Georgia line, so it's Brian and Tyler's publishing company
that they own
of FGL.
Yes,
but they also are posted up in Florida too, in some ways.
Yeah,
so that's the Florida girl. Look,
see,
you're gonna have to go to the beach a lot.
Well, that's one of the many perks. We just all came back as a company from Florida. Yes, and Brian and B. Cole, his wife, just hosted some amazing dinners and just incredible time. It was insane.
I saw some Insta stories. I was jealous.
Right? Yeah. So, you know, I don't Insta story. I'm like, that's enough. Middle-aged crazy. I don't need to be on Twitter. And Twitter I don't do. And Instagram, but not Insta story. Sorry, yeah.
You got to do it all, Leslie. We want to see.
Insta story? I don't know. Bob would be fun to Insta story. Take it back to the house. Maybe I'll do that.
You should do, like, every night when you and Bob are sitting around, do, like, some reflections. Like, you know, just, like, some Bob DiPiero reflections, and then you chime in. That's hilarious. That would be great. People would tune in. It's like, okay, here comes the Bob DiPiero hour with
Say
Leslie.
something iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh, my God.
So you came here. How'd you get to Nashville from Naples?
This sounds really sad, but I was working in Miami at the time at a studio there, and I had also worked on Premier's Cruise Lines and
Doing?
well, singing.
Leslie!
I was singing.
What did you sing?
I was singing all the songs that make the whole world sing. You know, cocktail parties, top 40,
Give
whatever.
me a taste. Give me one.
Hell, no, that wasn't part of this. Now, alcohol and karaoke night? Yes.
Okay, I'm down.
Yeah,
For that.
Tree Vibes dime? No. They're not paying me to sing. No. So, yeah, Miami, worked on cruise ships. My mother passed away, and I took a leave of absence just to come up here for a month.
How'd you pick Nashville?
Because I heard a song in the Miami studio called How Can I Help You Say Goodbye?
Love that.
By our wonderful Burton Collins and Karen Taylor Good. And my mother was getting ready to say goodbye. And I went, gosh, there's songs like this out there? They're not all, in Miami Sound Machine. So I thought, oh, you know, I'll go up to Nashville at some point. That was 92-ish, 93. Maybe it was 93, 94?
Did you come here because you wanted to sing? When you
No, I
originally
was working at a publishing company that had Lindsay Ann Music, Steve Alemo, who had, if he hears this, he'll crack up. He's like, finally, my freaking shout out. But he had published songs like What You Won't Do for Love for Bobby Caldwell. You know that song? Do you know that song?
You're putting me on the spot.
Okay,
you
because
sing it for me, I'll tell you
hell
what.
no, I knew that was coming. No, he had that. It's and then he had Bad Boys. You know that from the Cop Show.
Bad boys.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he had, just kind of like that era of Miami Sound Machine and Debbie Gibson and Tiffany and all that was going on. So when that song, How Can I Help You Say Goodbye, came in and my mother was ill, I just thought, when she passed away, I just got in the car and drove here. Just for a little, I'm going to leave for a few weeks, maybe a month at max, and I'll be back. And it's been 23 years.
Wow. So
Yeah.
what made you fall in love with Nashville?
The songwriters. I went to, I did a few sessions under another name, which I'm so glad I did because no one knows the name.
What
And-
is it?
Well, hell no, I'm going to tell you the
now
thing.
we can talk about it, right?
No, but I was at a demo session and I
Totally an
heard,
alter ego.
yeah, that's karaoke night. How long have I known you? We haven't gone through this.
I don't know this.
Gosh, nice to meet you.
Hello.
I mean, how long have I known you?
Tabitha? What is it? I'm guessing.
No, Tabitha. No, that's so funny. I can't believe we haven't had this conversation.
I'm
We've
ready
had
to have
a
it
lot
right now.
of conversations.
Let's spill the beans to everyone listening.
No.
Okay.
So I'm in
That will
there.
come later.
I'm listening to songs, and there was a song that a musician who played on a lot of number ones, Mike Lawler, wrote with Vicki McGehee. And Barry Beckett was producing it. It was a group called Buffalo Club. No one's going to know anything we're talking about right now, except for people like Tom Luteran. But I was having a meeting with him a couple of weeks ago with all our youngsters, and we're talking about songwriters that are no longer living, and no one knew what we were talking about. So anyway, I pitched a song to a group, and then I got a job at Buddy Killen Music from pitching a song for a group that you don't know exists.
As soon as you started pitching songs, did you know, like, this is what I love? Like,
I was pitching songs in Miami for R&B acts. I mean, I was Tomasina. I was the only one really. I was someone who was just doing that down there. So I didn't know the magnitude of Nashville and how huge it was. So I just heard a song and said, oh, let me get a cut, because that's what I do.
so you feel like you've always, not feel like, but from an early age, you felt like you could identify a hit song. Like, when you heard it, you're like, that's it.
Yeah, well, I was raised with, I say carnies. Like, my dad was a comedian and comedy writer. My mother was a singer. So I was raised with Italians, my dad was part of the Alan King, Buddy Hackett, he would come home and say, should I say it like this? Should I say it like this? Like this? Like this? I'm like, okay, no. Editing your father's jokes, and then listening to my mom sing, and she was trying to put together, just tracks for her to sing, just like her set list and she would open for comedians, and that's how they met. So I was kind of raised in New York show business frame
So
of
you
mind.
were like, you were raised editing what makes something good and funny too. Like what makes great music and what makes great comedy. So what a great schooling for you.
And I'm hilarious.
You're so
I mean, I'm
hilarious.
not being exceptionally funny right now, but I am super funny.
Well, I mean, you were raised being funny too. So you just know. And you're naturally funny.
There's that.
Yeah. I mean,
As long as I'm not funny looking, we're good.
okay, so you grew up just like around entertainment, around that. Like you knew you were drawn to it.
Mm-hmm.
When did you know that you had an ear to pick out songs, like hit songs?
Getting songs cut, you know.
What was the first song you got cut?
You know, it's so funny. I never tell the very first song I got cut because I don't get credit for it. So, and it was a big pop song at the time. And I was young and really, you know, so I don't ever give the first one.
Okay.
Because those people are still in the business. I'm like, see? But if they're listening, because you're such a huge podcast, they'll know I still harbor resentment. You stole my first cut. No, but here, the writer of Breathe, Holly Lamar, back in 1994, she had a song for Miley Mason. God, am I going to remember the title of this, Holly? I think it was called Don't Maybe Me. It was for Atlantic Records, and Al Cooley got the song cut. That was the first one here. Sorry, if you backed it up, it would have been, you know, the song with Vicki McGehee, but I didn't have the job then. I was just meeting people.
So after you got the cut, and explain to everyone listening, because this is the publisher series, what is getting a cut? What is pitching a song to people who don't know?
You hear a song and you decide where it should be cast.
You pitch it to?
You pitch it to an artist that is signed, either who's actually out to the general public and everyone knows who that artist is and it's obvious because they're huge, or to new artists. And you hope that you are finding a career song for that new artist. So, yeah, it would be someone you could mention, oh, we're pitching to Carrie Underwood, or we're pitching to, you know, Cassie Ashton, you know. So people,
yeah, like up and coming, exciting artists or established artists.
Absolutely, people that aren't household names yet, but you believe they will be.
And that's a big part of publishing, which I love, is you get to discover new talent. And you can go out there, and not a lot of publishers, when you go out in Nashville and you go to like music row nights, or you go to little sets that people are having or showcases, it's all of this talent showcasing their music. And so it's like a publisher's dream, because if you're going to be serious about music, I think in some way or another you kind of have to move to Nashville if you're an artist. Don't you think?
Yeah, you definitely have to be in it to win it, or definitely frequent here.
What makes you start noticing a new writer, a new songwriter, or a new artist? Like, how does that happen? I was talking to some other publishers about this, like a buzz starts building, right? Mm-hmm. How does that buzz start building, and how do you get that buzz as a new songwriter or as wanting to be an artist?
It can happen through another songwriter who heard another songwriter at a writer's night, who comes to their publisher and says, I've been writing with this guy, he's amazing, he doesn't have a pub deal. You know, next thing, or someone who has an amazing voice, who's also a great writer, but because they have an amazing voice, they get more attention for their songwriting. It's like, oh my God, this person has an incredible voice and they're an incredible writer. And then it's a domino effect, because we're such a tight-knit community.
And word of mouth and reputation goes a long way here.
Yes, absolutely. So, and I feel we have a very generous, open-hearted and minded community that really shares and gives. If they hear someone great, they get excited about it. And if another publisher has a roster that's full, or they're not a place to sign, they'll call their buddy, they'll call their friend and say, I wish you would sign this person. They're writing with one of our writers so much, and they seem like a great person. And it's wonderful, because everyone works together and everyone surrounds each other and nurtures that talent.
Yeah. And
so there's the buzz, you know, and then the work starts.
What is the work?
The work starts as you okay, that just happened. You signed this writer.
Because everyone thinks, oh, if I could get a deal, then I've made it. No.
Right.
Getting a deal is actually the easiest part. A publishing deal,
sometimes
record deal.
Right.
Once you get the deal, then here comes
the songs, you know. So if you're going to write, the average to me, even if you go through a Hall of Fame songwriters catalog, it could be 1 out of every 25. I know everyone's going to hate me for these are my own personal stats, is a hit. And does that mean it should be recorded? You can't believe it's not cut? Well, it might be a hit, but it's not what this artist needs at the time. Mm-hmm. It might be a hit for Carrie.
Right, totally.
Right. So you have to table it. It's a hit, but yeah, we don't want to pitch that right now. Or it's a female song talking about a controversial topic, or it's not timely, or it's already been said. So
talk about that, because the nature of where the like the what is the word? The climate of the charts affects like what's being played on the radio. Like you know, I feel like there's trends sometimes.
There is, but if it's already out, right, then it's already happened. So what's happening next?
Explain that, like with trends.
With trends, well, I mean, there's, our bosses just created an entire genre
of country music.
Right. So it's almost like, before a microwave existed, I'm saying that because we just got our new one at the office. I'm looking at it.
Oh my gosh.
We have a new microwave, but before a microwave existed, no one knew they wanted it. But then when it was placed in front of them, you couldn't live without it.
Right.
So if a song is so incredible that what is this sound? I can't live without it, but I didn't know it existed. That's probably what's next.
And that's exactly what FGL did with Cruise. When they came out with Cruise, it shook this town. Everyone was like, what is that? It's amazing.
The universe.
They
get
the
it.
universe.
Yeah.
And then everyone tries to copy because they're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So then everyone else tries to write that way.
Right. That can happen. That can happen with, any huge hit at any time. If you look, it can. That's why it's always good to, that's why even Brian and Tyler understand just creating unique trails. And they've signed a roster here of unique talent that does not resemble their lane at all. Tree Vibez,
smart.
Because they're music lovers and they get it and they recognize extraordinarily unique talent.
And they're like, we already have our thing covered, so let's
spread
out.
I mean, it's not, you think, oh, okay, we've got writers over here at Tree Vibez and of course they're going to get FGL cuts. No, it's actually almost harder. It's almost harder. And when our creative staff meets with our writers, we actually say, we hope that everyone's first number one is not an FGL cut.
Right.
I mean, it would be great if they had a number one by the FGL, of course, but I'm talking about for the integrity of the publishing company and the diversity of what we're doing here. And so far, everyone does have cuts with and outside of FGL, just within the last 7 months. So it's happening, and it's really exciting. It's working in a big way.
And that's exciting to say, like an artist who ventures out and starts their own publishing company, to have it start having success so quickly. That's a huge expansion of their brand.
Huge.
Because now they have these songwriters who are attached to them, but their own thing, just spreading out into the genre.
And here we go, because I'm looking over at one of our creative director, Adam Romaine.
Hey, Adam Romaine. Do you love romaine lettuce? I do. Do you hate that people say that?
Everyone calls Adam Romie the homie, but
Romie the homie.
Coming back to Tyler and Brian and their roster, they're out on the road writing with the Tree Vibez writers, nurturing them, listening to their songs every week. They're highly involved, and they're writing with them up until the time they go on stage, the time they come back off and finishing a bridge. And Adam is on the road making sure the right combinations. We're so lucky to have Adam. He's going to, blush over there. Adam and Tyler are very close friends. There's a trust there. There's just a telepathy that is there of knowing someone for so long. But initially when I came on board, and I'm thinking, oh gosh, this is Tyler's best friend. I hope he knows what he's doing, right? Because I'm going to be stuck with him if he doesn't.
Friends start working with friends.
Right. I'm like, gosh, I hope this is something.
It's really not good.
I mean, did I get a big cup of shut up on that thought? Because he is amazing. He has song sensibility that's insane. He doesn't even understand how great his ears are. He knows he can hear hits, and he knows who needs to be in the front of the bus writing, and he knows what combinations are going to be great in the back of the bus, and who the guys are going to like, all those things that he just thinks are givens. We've gotten many cuts in the last 7 months from Adam's combinations on the bus.
Okay, come over here, Adam, for a second.
Yep.
While we're talking about you, let's talk about this. Okay, so tell me, what do you look for in a song? And when you're trying to pair up songwriters, what are you thinking about?
Oh man, well, out on the bus, it's all about the vibe.
It is all about
Tree
the vibe.
vibes.
Sometimes people don't realize a vibe is so important, but something that FGL and Tree Vibes has figured out is vibe is everything. So break that down.
It's just coming out and understanding what you're there to do and soaking it in and being a sponge and really realizing where you are and the opportunity that you're being given right now. And Tree Vibes, we do our best, at making sure that everybody feels comfortable out there and can bring their best creativity with them.
Romie sets the tone. Romie sets such an amazing environment and vibe that he's such a great hang. He's such a great hang, and everyone just, when they, I would say from what I've seen, and Adam, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but people go on the bus one way and then they come off as family. They just come, they're like, that's my family. Romie's my new best friend. These writers were all amazing. Please let me know when I can come out again. Everyone wants to come out again and again.
Don't you think feeling comfortable, though, allows people to open up and write maybe more personal or more deep than they would if they feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know this person. I'm not comfortable. I'm intimidated.
Yeah, and you're on a bus.
You're on a bus. I'm living with them. Like, there's a lot of nerves that could be going into that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you have some new guys that come out there, and you have some vets that come out there, too. We have guys that come out all the time, pretty much every week. James McNair is a big guy with us, and he sees the road and has been in multiple different rights. And I think when we have writers that come out on tour, there's something that happens on that bus where they go into a serious work mode. I mean, I think we've done just last week at the retreat was 17 songs in 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something else. Yeah. It's like we've been told it's kind of like a landscaping company out there. Like the boys wake up, they work out, they get going, and they write all day. And when Tyler and Brian get done, they're ready to jam the song from that day.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say it starts at the top too. I mean, on the bus, you just see how hard Brian and Tyler work, and they set that Tony tone, and then like, okay, and they're listening to whatever Romie says. We better listen to Romie.
I just can't say enough about the songwriters and how much they come out there and bust their butts.
They do.
They really all get it, and then they'll go out and watch the show and listen to all the songs that the boys are playing, no matter what tour we're on, and they'll really take it in and see how the crowd's reacting, and we'll go back on the bus and get in depth about conversation about how songs work and what would work here and demographics and all that kind of stuff. So there's a little bit of science to it, we like to think, instead of just like, oh, this worked, this didn't, whatever. Then, we like to think there's some kind of creative science to it too.
I like that you guys, even just hearing you guys go back and forth as colleagues working together, I like how this company in particular, it values the whole experience. It feels like it values the whole person, like all the people that are involved. It's like, okay, how can we really open this person up, really analyze how to make something great, work together. It's not just a sterile go in, write, don't know someone, go out. It's like, it's an experience.
It is an experience. Literally on this retreat we just had, we cooked breakfast together, did dishes together, had dinner at night, hung out, had a dance party. Really, it was just the company. And we've all been on a text thread nonstop of how much we all love each other. Then you have Corey Crowder and Daniel Ross and Cameron Montgomery, all writer-producers, helping each other. Hey, what do you think this track needs on songs that they didn't write? And then you have Ray Lynn there as, oh, we forgot, you're a girl because you're one of the guys, not treated as a female writer, treated as one of the guys, and pulling her weight as an incredible songwriter. Forget the fact that she's an amazing singer and artist. She was there as a songwriter, and she was one of the guys. So a lot of amazing things. Everybody really became a very cohesive unit this week, and more so they were before, but something really magical happened. And we just got, with the best part of it, several cuts that are happening out of last week, on top of having the team building.
And that is something that I also want to talk about, because some people I feel like don't value the team building. And they think, oh, let's not spend time on that. That's a waste of time. Like, that's a waste of money to go, like, have all the writers go out here. And, like, that's going to cost, like, all this. Let's just, like, come on, work.
Yeah.
Let's just work.
And that's okay. And I think that's great.
But
I think that's great
really,
they exist.
Something magical happens when you all feel like you're on a team. I don't know why. And when everyone's supporting you and you don't feel like someone's judging you or looking over your
competing.
shoulder. But instead you have people like, shoot, that person is killing the game. They're on my team. Let me step up my game.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, there's
like,
healthy competition, but
Yeah.
everyone here is so rooting for each other.
Oh yeah, for sure. On that bus, you know, we're all family, but you know, as you know, a hit song from not a hit song, if the front lounge song's better than the back lounge. So they're all family, but then they go up there and you can tell when the front lounge knows that they didn't come with it as quite as they, you know, as much as they could have, maybe.
And it makes everyone want to step up their game.
Oh yeah, then they're gonna write a second song that day because that's just how they go. They hear that one in the back and they go, oh, well, we gotta top that, you know.
It's a really healthy environment, though, of making all these talented people just be like, okay, I got to step up my game because everyone's stepping up their game all the time. I feel like that's how you get greatness. Y'all think
Yeah.
this is gold over here.
You know, we
Tell
feel
me-
that way.
Tell me the difference, not in like in a bad way, because everyone has their own way of doing publishing. There's a million ways to skin a cat. But from you being a publisher in so many different in so many different outlets, different companies, different, just in you know, your whole life, what have you noticed about this that you love so much as compared to maybe some other experiences?
I think that the culture here is just tight. We have such like-minded people. We have the same belief systems.
What are your belief systems?
Well, everyone believes that there's a power greater than themselves in this building.
For sure.
And you can feel that presence every day. You just can. Everyone believes in respecting each other. Everyone has respect for other people's talent. Everyone cares about who might be getting married, who's having the baby, who's dating who in the best way. Everyone really wants to know what's going on in everyone's life because they care deeply.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's correct. You know, it's a big family, and when you go out and you start, Zia, she's my Zia. That's what I call her.
Italian for aunt.
Italian for aunt. She's my Zia. Zia holds it down here, and I'm sure we do enough relaying back and forth that she's always on the phone with me, or she's talking to one of the writers out there. We're on the road, and everything's just linked up so good that she's well aware of all the work that's being put in out there, and then she gets all the songs and knows where to go with them. You know, that's kind of just the big teamwork. If it's not for the guys out on the road for FGL, a song for them, it could be for anybody else, you know. So,
And I love that too, because I feel like sometimes there are disconnects within teams. You know, like everyone has a job, but it's not like quite all connected. And I don't know how to describe it, but when you are in that flow with everyone, it's just so different.
Oh, yeah.
It's so different, and it's magical when you get that. I feel like this company has been very intentional about bringing people in that fit that flow.
Absolutely. Yeah, we definitely feel it. It's bigger. It's truly bigger than all of us. It's just, we're just riding the wave. We're just riding the wave as best as we can. It's huge. Everyone feels, it's like we feel plugged into something. I tell everybody this job is amazing. The only bad thing is it's hard to sleep because I'm so excited. It's just hard to sleep. So I've had to up my drinking game. That's been tough. 'Cause I'm just like, okay, tomorrow, and we're going to do this. And then I'm like, I feel like my puppy. It's like, you know, it's all this, a lot of heavy breathing going on, like a little doggy with a new bone.
That's a great place to be. I feel like that's the most exciting place to be in life.
It
when you have
is.
passion every day. If you don't have passion every day, then how can you make anything great happen? You have to feel passionate about what
Yes.
you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're not passionate about it, don't do it. I've always been passionate about the industry, but this particular group of people, it's on another level, and it's not just me, and it sounds so politically correct to say that, but if you interviewed any of our writers, everyone feels that. It's really, we're just so blessed to be having this creative journey together.
So since you guys are so like faith-based here, there's something bigger going on here outside of, there's a bigger source at work here. Tell me, how do you feel, with that being such a huge part of this, how does that play into the day? Like how is it part of the conversation, or is it just in the way everyone exists? Like how is that thread running through?
It's a peacefulness. It's a knowingness, you know, that it's going to be okay. And we have the best of intentions every day for each other and for the music and who's creating it. We have goals and we know what we want, but so far they've been bigger than we've been dreaming. Mm-hmm.
How do you feel like someone knows their calling? Like, how do you feel like someone discovers their calling?
I discover it.
How do you, like, you knew you loved hearing hit songs and getting them matched with artists, and like you had this knack.
Well, it's like faith. It's knowing something you can't prove.
How did you discover your calling, though?
Discovered it.
Do you think everyone has one?
I do. Everyone definitely has a calling or a purpose. That's why we were created. Absolutely.
Like some people don't find it though, or spend the time to find it.
Or they're just not listening to their inner voice, or not meditating or praying or taking the time to listen or to be still.
So in a hustle and bustle world where, you know, entertainment's moving fast, being still is almost, people are allergic to it sometimes. But really, that's when you can hear the truth the most, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. That's
like
what
this.
I say.
I like going to church with you guys.
That's what I say. Tree Vibes Church, here it is.
So in y'all's opinion, I'll ask both of you, what is the point of this life?
Of this life?
Of this life.
Like
what is the point of this life?
Do you want to take that one first?
Well, I mean, you know, I'm kind of middle-aged crazy.
The point of this life is probably to represent the gift of life the best that you can. I don't know,
Explain that.
as being a person, as attitude, as drive. I think that we're all here on planet Earth together, and some people, I call it the sunglasses effect. Some people have tons of sunglasses on. You guys shed those sunglasses off until you can actually see.
Like layers that they're viewing life through.
Yeah. And so I think especially a lot of those songwriters and people in town here that are, trying to work their way in the business and trying to find themselves, and all that kind of stuff, is really you are yourself always. Really, it's just you're getting in the way of what you want to be doing by thinking that you're not already there, really.
So what would your advice be to those songwriters who are trying to make it, trying to find themselves?
Oh, I would say that comes with writing and getting things out and getting better at writing, in the publishing world. I would say getting better at it, but really for a writer, it would be if writing is your passion, your love, and that's where your emotion, your feelings are about life. Doing that will get it all out of you, and I think that's where you find your passion. A lot of times is where you can block out from the sirens that are going on back here and really focus in on, what you're great at doing. You know what I mean?
And being authentic to yourself, which is scary to be authentic
Live
to
your
yourself.
truth.
So what do you think? Point of life, and then what advice would you give to songwriters who are wanting to make it? And then I know you have a conference call. So.
Point of life is so individual, right? Because that's, we're all created individually to create your, to serve your own purpose of why you were created. But I would say live your truth and to love and serve others and share your individual gifts freely with others.
Not hold them possessively.
Yeah, it's the more you give, the bigger it gets. Life isn't where you hoard, it's where you share.
I love that. I feel like not everyone has learned that.
Well, yeah, and you know what? And because if someone doesn't feel that way, then they're just they haven't arrived at that place in the path yet. You just be patient with them. Don't judge. Be
Right.
patient and
Right.
find people that are like-minded like we have here. I think everyone here, that's another part of the Tree Vibes magic, is everybody is in a similar headspace and on the same path around the same place, going to a magical destination that we all can see.
I love that.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
How do you know when you're on the right road, and how do you know when you're on the wrong road? What is your internal compass?
Well, that's your be still time. It's your God voice. You check in.
What do you feel when it's wrong? Like, what do you feel inside of you when you're like, oh, this body's saying no? And what do
Yeah,
you feel
everyone.
when it's right? Because I feel like there's a sense of like, you have to know your gut.
Of course you do. It's all. Gosh, that's the only thing I have. I don't get out of the morning without. That's every decision I make is gut
What
decision.
does your gut feel like when it's right, and what does it feel like when it's wrong?
As it feels for everybody else that's in tune with themselves. I mean, if something feels right, it is just like foot on the floor. You're just going as hard as you can. If your gut says no, everyone knows when you go against your gut, you're spiraling down at a speed of light.
Even when it's this amazing opportunity that feels so incredible, if your gut's saying no, you have to say no, right?
Usually if your gut is saying no, it means you're compromising your integrity. So if you've compromised your integrity, your gut, your soulful self says, you're compromising what you know is not a good decision.
That's a great way. That's a great way of putting it. If you're compromising your integrity, and it might not be compromising for someone else.
That's right.
But for you, if you're compromising your integrity.
Yes. That's everything.
Totally.
That's everything.
I love that. Okay. And then I like to, I have somebody, obviously I want to talk to you guys forever, but I like to wrap up with leave your light. So leave inspiration that you just want to share with the world of everything that you've taken in on your journey thus far, being in music. Just leave your light. This whole thing's been inspiring, but leave some light for people. And especially for some songwriters, maybe in particular, new or established, leave some inspiration.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like the, if people couldn't see that you were driving a Mercedes, would you buy it? It's like, do you need that validation? If you're a songwriter, you get up every day like a painter because you have to do it. Do it every day because you know you have to do it, not because other people are going to see you doing it. You know, it's because that's why you were created. Just do it with that same passion and just be appreciative to have that gift and love it with all your heart, unconditionally love it like you would a child. Mm-hmm. You know, you're the parent of your gift.
Oh, I love that.
I agree. I would say you gotta learn to love the grind.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you gotta, because if you don't love the grind, then you're already shut out of luck.
And you're also like, the grind is the thing.
Well, that's what you're doing. That's what we're all doing.
I mean, where's the goal? You get the goal, but then you got to do something else. So it's like you have to love the grind.
Yeah, gotta love the grind.
Mm-hmm.
That's me.
So many people get mad at the grind and they're like, I don't want to do this. This is hard. I wish I could just be at this point right now. But really, the lessons come in the grind too, don't you think?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people see that final thing, you know, when FGL makes it big, they see FGL up here already. They didn't see them in a van playing bars full of 300 people getting paid maybe $500 or even doing it for free.
But then again, right? But if it was about the money, everyone would quit a long time ago.
Exactly.
So it goes back to that love of the gift.
Loving the grind the whole way.
Yeah.
Because you have to do it.
You have to do it.
It just looks in other people's eyes. Bing, they're here, and then other people want that so fast instead of loving their grind. You gotta love your own grind, you know.
Love that. Can you make that a shirt at Tribe Kelly? That should be love the grind.
Grind vibes.
Grind vibes. Leslie,
Yes.
Tomasina,
Boom.
DiPiero, and Romie the Homie.
Romie the Homie.
Yeah, Romie.
House. Tree Vibes Music. Thank
Boom.
you so much for the interview.
We love
Thank
you very
so
much.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank
You
you.
You
guys
are beauty
awesome.
and brain train, man.
Oh,
You are
yeah.
the beauty and brain
Trying
train.
to keep up with you, Leslie. Trying to keep up with you. I am. I've been knowing Leslie Tomasina DiPiero for like almost as long as I've been here, which is 14 years almost.
And you have blossomed before my eyes.
I was just a little old green intern, scared to death to breathe in any buildings because I just didn't even know how to be around people of this talent.
You were gorgeous and funny then, and you're more gorgeous and funnier now.
Well, I'm grateful that now we're like friends.
Forever.
Because I was just like so intimidated by you that I didn't know how to speak to you. So now that I can be chill and you know girls with you, it's a nice transition for me.
Get out of here. You're crazy.
Love
Crazy. I love
you.
you.
You guys are the best.
You're awesome.
Peace.